82 stones, each weighing around 8,000 pounds, were transported over 240 miles for unknown reasons by unknown people, all before the invention of the wheel. Over 1 million people are drawn to Stonehenge each year to witness this mysterious place in person. Despite over 300 years of scientific research, we still cannot fully answer the questions of how, who, and why. The first of these questions that scientists have tried to answer is, how was Stonehenge made? The 5,000-plus-year-old structure was completed in 3 phases, the earliest being started in 3100 BC. This first phase was primarily digging. The builders dug a trench, creating a 100-yard diameter circle, and then just inside of this circle, 56 holes were dug. These holes later became known as Aubrey holes. The completion of this phase was soon after abandoned and left alone for 1,000 years. Phase 2 of this construction didn't even begin until 2150 BC. In this stage, we see the first set of stones arrive. These were called blue stones. They came from the mountains 240 miles away and averaged a weight of 4 tons. Fortunately, these were moved primarily by water. The few miles that they did have to go by land, they used rollers and sledges. And in all, 82 stones were placed inside of the Aubrey holes to form an incomplete double circle. The final stage marked the arrival of the Sarsen stones. These were much heavier, with the biggest weighing up to 50 tons. They had to be transported 25 miles, all of it over land. So all they had to do, they had to use the rollers and sledge system, and it was estimated that it would take over 500 people just to pull one stone. And then they would need another 100 just to move the rollers back in front of the stone as they went. These stones, once they were transported to the site, were placed in an outer ring completely surrounding the blue stones. Once in place, these stones were capped with a lintel, and it created a continuous ring all around the blue stones. During the same time, the blue stones were rearranged from the double circle into a horseshoe. With this great amount of effort put forth to construct Stonehenge, the next question is, who made it? No one knows for sure. The most realistic and accepted theory is that it is an ancient religious group. Some of the other, a little more out there scenarios are Merlin, the fabled wizard, used magic and also the help of giants to place the stones and transport them. And then probably the most out there scenario is that aliens built it as a landing zone. But one thing is for certain, without knowing who built it, it is hard to determine what it was built for. And that's our last question that scientists have tried to answer, is why was it built? There are 2 widely accepted theories on this. The first being that it was built as a place of worship, whether it be to the sun god or something along those lines. And then the second is a calendar, an astronomical calendar to be a little more specific. If on the summer and winter solstices the sunlight shines directly down the center and it's perfectly in line, aside from that, astronomer Harold Hawkins also claims that aside from being perfectly in line for the solstices, it also can be used to predict eclipses along with other things. And now you have some reasons about how, by whom, and why Stonehenge was built. But it's important to remember that these are just theories. Nothing is set in stone. No one really knows. It's a mysterious place, full of mystery, and it'll continue to be that way for many years to come. And that is why it is one of the most visited places in the world.